Hello, and welcome to CodingKoans, where together we'll explore the world of software, get better jobs, and change the world. My name's Ian Carroll, and I'm going to be your host today. So, getting right into things, I'm going to invite today's guest. I'm going to ask you to show your screen in just a minute here, but first, let me tell you about Sarah McMullen. Which is on the screen. I have this copied down because I don't have it memorized. Here we go. So, Sarah went back to school to learn programming at Northwestern University's Coding Bootcamp. She's worked at and did improv at the Second City in Chicago, and currently she works for a women-owned tech consultancy out of New York that specializes in mobile apps and blockchain, so Bitcoin, Ethereum, etc., etc. Sarah has a dog, a cat, and a guinea pig that all get along. Sarah, welcome. Go ahead and show yourself, and I'm going to unmute you now.
Hello.
Hey, Sarah, let me get you in the right view. Hey, how's it going?
Hi.
Okay, I'm just going to move us around so that we have us on the desktop in the right kind of way.
Okay.
Always with these desktop configurations. Sarah, nice to see you.
Thanks for having me.
Sure. Yeah. You recently have gotten a job in tech.
Yes, during COVID of all things.
I
So
know.
that was yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I'm very grateful to have come because I didn't.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's a really cool company. It's just it's a small, I don't know if I call it a startup, but they've been around for about 5-6 years and doing really well. And just a cool place to work. They're really into training. So I'm learning about all sorts of things that I did not expect to be doing when I was in boot camp. So
Nice.
yeah.
Yeah. It's a big, huge world, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. Actually, I'm going to be, just going to warn you ahead of time, I'm going to be a little rusty on JavaScript because it's been about 6 weeks since I've coded in it because I'm doing like a lot of other things. So, but I'm excited to work on it again.
Awesome. Well, just to warn you, I'm always rusty.
Okay.
I never know exactly what I'm doing. Sometimes I have a moment of lucidity where I'm like, oh, that's it. But most of the time, that's not it.
So it's going to be like improv where it's just like two people walking out on stage and being like, I don't know. Do you know? No. Okay, well, let's try.
It's going to be just like that. In fact, why don't you tell us a little bit about your improv background?
Oh, Lord. Okay. Let's see. I needed a lot of attention when I was a child. So, yeah, my parents just threw me in a bunch of like theater classes, and I was like, plays are dumb, and I just wanted to do my own things. Then I discovered improv. And when I left college on a sabbatical and went to a Second City audition for their conservatory program and got in. And I was the youngest person at the time to get into that program.
Congratulations.
And I just kept doing improv from there. I worked for them. I get to work for the touring company producer and get to sit there in some of the reading room stuff and sit in on auditions and like learn the improv audition process, which is fascinating because you can be the funniest person there, but if you don't play well with others, you're not going to get picked.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Having a background that's not quite as well, not as quite as good as yours is. I know kind of like the trouble with doing improv auditions. I'm never the same in an improv audition as I am when I'm just on the stage.
If I can tell you real quick, I did one when I was working, like for the tour co-producer. They let me just sort of like get in on an audition, and I didn't know anyone I was auditioning with, but I knew everybody that was watching me, and they had the lights up, and I choked so badly. So I was freaked out.
Yep.
It's embarrassing. They're like, you were okay. And I was like, no, I was terrible.
Uh, okay, cool. So actually, you know what? Your story is really fascinating, and I really want you to be able to share it. Can you tell, like, if you're in improv, how did you get involved in software?
All right. So, as I'm not sure how many of your viewers are into improv or the arts, but
A lot.
for those that are, okay, cool. So
Yeah.
then you guys know that it doesn't pay very well. It's not paid. I when I started working at Second City, I was like, this is, top of the mountain in terms of like improv. This is, I can do this and I can make a living, and it's really hard. And in terms of like making like a living, I could like buy groceries, but if I wanted to get a car, I probably needed a second job, and it was a lot of work. It's a labor of love, and you know, I'm getting old. I have a bad back. I need to. I wanted to do something that was fun and challenging, that still felt like I could do the things I loved that improv had, like collaboration, you know, uh, thinking quickly on my feet and being able to pivot and problem solve and just sort of jump into things. And I had a friend who had switched to programming, who had been in the arts as well, and just wouldn't stop talking about it. And it seemed really cool. So I started diving into like UX design first because it was artistic. And then I got like deeper and deeper into it. And yeah, it was just a rabbit hole that I never got out of. And I took the leap and went to school for it. And I haven't looked back since. I love it.
So you went to a boot camp, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't have time or money to go back to a 4-year school. I mean, I wish I did, but uh, yeah, I mean, this was sort of my only option, um, because I'm not in my 20s anymore. And I looked at the cost of things, and it was like ungodly. Like I'd be paying it into my like second life. It was just ridiculous. So
Mm-hmm.
like, let me just do this. And I'll say, I feel like boot camps are great, but I feel like it's like another jumping off point. It's a good foundation. And then from there, I would go to meetups, and that's how I met Ian. I sent him a message on LinkedIn because he was doing this like improv for devs workshop. And so he's like, I'm just going to write him because he's coming to Chicago. I was like, let's meet. And we've been talking ever since.
Yeah, it's been
But
great.
yeah, I just sort of, I've got some amazing developers that I've met over the years, and I meet with them whether I had a job or didn't. During COVID, I did a bunch of Zoom meetings just to keep coding, just to have something to do.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and yeah, I mean, and it's sort of a never ending uh, journey of learning and feeling a little dumb, and then getting something and feeling good about it, and then learning a new thing and feeling a little dumb, and then feeling good.
Yeah, it just goes on and on.
Yeah, and I think when you do improv, you get comfortable with that because you can have an amazing show one day and then the next you're terrible, and it doesn't make you never want to do improv again. You keep doing it. So I feel like if you're already built for that, you can probably do programming.
Yeah, that is really insightful, and thank you for that. So, like, a lot of people I talk to, especially if they're in improv or the arts, they frequently will say something like, "Oh, that can't be for me. That's a tech thing. I don't do tech things. I do art." What would you say to somebody who would say that?
Shut up.
Maybe
No,
something more encouraging.
I mean, I've heard that too.
Hmm.
It's like, oh, like, so on top of like doing improv and stuff, I've also I can't talk, illustrated children's books, and I've done stand up, and I used to work in production, and I'm like, no, like it's a creative field. And the way I look at web design and stuff is, or not even like the design of it, anything that has to do with tech, you have to visualize it. And I feel like artists can like look at like a blank canvas, and they don't get freaked out. They're just like, no, I know what I'm going to paint on there. Like or if they don't know exactly, they'll start working on it, and then they'll kind of be able to develop over time what they're building. And so like, I look at it like, if I see someone who's sculpting, and I'm like, you took this big old hunk of clay and you made something really amazing out of it. You didn't just say, I don't know what to do, bye. You can absolutely have an idea for a website and like break it down piece by piece until you've built something. And it's so satisfying to see something that you've created and then you can see it built
Yeah.
and like to use. It's amazing. It's
Yeah.
very art.
Yeah, that's really like that's been something I've discovered too. Is that like there is definitely artistry, and this is a creative field. It's not just it's not the same thing as like I think one person described it to me as watching someone else doing accounting. um, but yeah,
Yeah,
it's
I mean, it's if you don't understand it, I feel like the first time I ever watched a coding video, um, I went like hard. Like the first time I was like, I'm gonna see if I like coding. I think I watched like a Java coding video and I fell asleep. Like it was like not, it was too much for me. And but once you start understanding what people are typing and what they're doing, then you get like totally immersed in it and you can see it. I mean, it's boring to watch a person, paint sometimes. If they're just, it's like, okay, cool, you're doing this thing with your brush, but then when you actually see what they're building, or if you can kind of get an idea of what they're doing, then it's really interesting.
yeah, yeah. So that's so cool. One thing that I do remember from when I first met you, and you are unique in this way, and I want to encourage more people to be unique in the way that you are because it is a brilliant thing to do. I was just going around, from city to city that I was touching as I was doing my regular consulting work. And you came up out of the blue and said, "Hi, I do improv. I've got this boot camp thing. Can I please come to your thing? Can I learn from you?" And I was like, "Yes, please. Thank you." Can you? Why is it that you suddenly reached out to me like that? What strategy were you using there? Because that was brilliant.
Um, it's actually the same strategy that got me my job. So,
Oh yeah.
no, I reached out to the one of the founders, and I'd gone onto their website and looked stuff up, and I'd tell me more about your UI, this UI project or tell me more about blockchain. I picked a couple things that I really liked, and I was like, can we talk more about this? And then I asked her about a topic I was passionate about. I just think it's a smart thing to do, and I guess it makes me think about. I'm not sure if it was from when I worked in production or if it was like when I was doing theater, but like you really have to network. And I feel like the best way to network is to just start talking, just have a conversation. You're interested in the same thing I'm interested in. That's cool. Let's chat. And then if they're, a little bit higher up than you can ask them questions about how they did it. And if someone's a little bit lower, just remember that you had to ask someone helped you. So give them advice. And I just feel like that's a good place to start, especially with tech. There's just so many things that are overwhelming, and it's just really good to just get people on your side because there's going to be moments where you're like, I don't know what I'm doing, I feel dumb, and just to have someone be like, oh, I do too all the time, and I'm a senior developer, and then you're like, oh, like, all right, I'm going to be okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. And the dev community is very understanding and open, so I feel like if you just reach out and say hello, there's a very high likelihood that they'll say hi back. Whereas like in the production world, they get it so much. Maybe I was like, yeah, you kind of have to like push harder. So it's actually very easy to just reach out and say hello and get, these really amazing, brilliant people to say hi back and talk to you and help you out.
Oh, I see. So you got practice networking with people who were less open. And then when you started talking to people who were in software, you found that the fish were jumping there.
I think so, because yeah, I mean, I remember having to write emails to like the Food Network and Discovery Channel for like pitches that my old company was working on, and like how we'd have to like just for just get people interested because they're getting so much stuff, and so you have to keep the connections going. So yeah, I think it just sort of got ingrained in my brain, and I've just applied it everywhere else.
Yeah. Yeah, that is really interesting. A mentor of mine once said to me when I was saying like, "Oh, I don't really have any software skills. All I've got is these skills in retail sales. I know a lot about tea. What use is that?" And they're like, "No, every single one of those things has value. Every single one of those things can be used to help you out, and this proves it again. You're a living proof of what my mentor said, which is every skill you've got has incredible value. You're not just doing software right now, though, right? Because you're actually using some of your improv skills in your current job.
Yeah, I was actually going to say, so I don't actually fit all the qualifications for my job. They're training me because they really liked me and they were like, we're really impressed with the other skills that you can bring to the table. So yeah, Thursdays I host an improv workshop for for the entire team. And it helps kind of get them out of their shell. It's COVID, everyone's remote now. And so they want to keep the morale up and they want to, make sure that people are feeling comfortable and have fun, as well as sort of like getting more comfortable with those quick shifts. So yeah, they were I was very impressed with them. They actually did some pretty advanced improv stuff last week. And yeah, they're having a lot of fun with it. So I've been doing that every week. I think last time I was like, "Do you guys want to do like an improv rap?" And I assumed they'd also be like, "No," and they're like, "Yeah, let's do it next week." So they're down.
Nice. Yeah, that is great. So I'm seeing in the chat here, McCready13 says the arts makes the world go round.
And it does.
Yeah.
They should artist more.
Yeah. Yeah. So without too much further ado, you want to dive into our JavaScript bit of code we got?
Yes. Okay.
All right.
Yeah. Let's do it.
Let's do this. Okay. I'm going to share my screen. Oh yeah, I gotta hit this button. I swear I am a professional and I know what I'm doing. There we go. Share. Share. Yes.
There we go.
Okay, great. Let me bring our little videos back into the screen here.
By the way, for anyone listening, if you hear like a weird Chewbacca sound, that is my boxer. She's sitting right by me and she likes to sing. She's too
Oh.
my lap. She's like 70 pounds, but she's like right next to me and she's making some noise.
So that's that occasional burping sound I'm hearing.
It's yeah.
All right. Well, awesome.
Yeah. If you hear a burp, a snort, a fart, anything that sounds gross, it's my dog. It's not me at all.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. Great. Let's do some code. So we have our README up here. This is for the thing called Bob. And it says here, Bob is a lackadaisical teenager. In conversation, his responses are very limited. Bob answers, "Sure," if you ask him a question. He answers, "Whoa, chill out," if you yell at him. He retorts, "Calm down, I know what I'm doing," if you yell a question at him. He says, "Fine, be that way," if you address him without actually saying anything. He answers whatever to anything else. So we're going to go through these instructions, things like that. Looks like we're going to need to npm install. So I'll just go ahead and do that. If you don't mind, I'll drive, but I know a few things up front just to get us going. If you're cool with that, Sarah.
Sure.
All right, cool. Let's see here. I swear I know how to write things. Oh, there it is. Did it twice. Let's see how it handles this. Looks like it's good. Oh, what's this? There's a new patch available. That's okay. Everything seems to be up to date. I'm not going to bother with installing an update right now. I'll deal with that later. All right. Let's see what happens if I just run npm test then. Let's see if anything fails. Oh boy. That's a big weirdo thing going on. No such file or direct. Oh, I know what I'm doing. I'm not in the right directory. I'm in the extrasystems directory. I need to be a couple layers down. So if I type in ls, I can see that I'm in the wrong folder. So I need to get down a couple of levels here. So here's my license, my readme, C++. Here's the package lock.json I just generated, which I'm going to need to do again. In fact, I might as well just go ahead and remove that right now. Okay. And now let's go into JavaScript. So cd, we're going to be working on JavaScript today, by the way. Yay, JavaScript. So JavaScript is one of the biggest languages out there. So if you're going to learn a language, you're probably eventually, whether you like it or not, you're going to end up touching JavaScript. So it's a good thing to learn. Not that it's the easiest language to learn, because there are all sorts of obscure exceptions to the rules. Yeah?
Yes, I would agree.
Any comments?
I mean, I still feel them. I still like JavaScript. I think it's a great one to start with. But yeah, sorry, I have a dog that's being very annoying.
By all means, take care of your dog. Yeah. Cool. So here now we are into Bob. All right. And there's a package.json there, so I think I can do an npm install. By the way, npm used to be called Node Package Manager, and it will install any dependencies we have on our code. We don't have many dependencies right now. All we really need is the testing framework that we're going to run their tests with. Not much else. We're going to be using pretty much pure vanilla JavaScript, as it's called. However, it used to be called Node Package Manager. Now npm stands for whatever you want it to mean. Can we think of some other things that npm could stand for, Sarah?
Newt's probably, npm. Newt's probably mothering.
Okay, Newt's probably mothering. Another one could be
print. Can you just come up with the M's?
No problem, mister.
Oh, I feel like you set that one up.
I did a little, but
No,
So say the first two, and then I'll say the next one.
Never Pinterest.
Matriculations.
Okay. Neither Princeton.
Madison.
That's okay. New puppy.
Malicious.
New puppy malicious. No. Next door pervert.
Oh, no, we're not going there. I've been fighting that one all day. I can't say that.
Oh, what were you saying? I was good. I don't even know.
Nope. Oh, yeah, by the way, we have a Discord for everyone who's watching. You can join our Discord if you follow the link on CodingKoans v0 has there. That's our bot in the channel. Also, if you want to see the VODs for our show, you can subscribe. It's $5, and you get not only the VODs for CodingKoans, you also get the ones for all the other shows on the channel. Things like Infinite Trek, Two Liars, and Acts Are Unprepared, the Matty Goff Show, Made Up Music. There's lots of them out there. And we got all kinds of different kinds of content. This is the only actual coding show we have. So, yeah. Man, this has taken a while for this thing to npm install. What's up with that? I'm wondering if it's just using a lot of bandwidth.
I think it's because of all the new preppy masks.
Good. New preppy masks. You're right. Or the notorious Pinterest mandalas. All right, we got it. It's finally done.
Hey.
Okay. So now let's do np. No, yeah. Do we do npm test? Yeah,
yes.
We actually use npm to test it. That's weird. Let's see. Slow tests. So I don't generally like slow tests, and the reason is because it lowers the amount of thoughts you can have in a single session. Looks like we have a failure, but I'll explain that in a bit. All right, let's take a look at what that failure is. As I'm scrolling up here, you're able to see the screen okay, right, Sarah?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So I'm scrolling up here. It says type error 0 bob.hey is not a function. I remember doing this earlier, and I think I know what the issue is because this looks very familiar to something we worked on yesterday. This type error.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's look at those tests for our lackadaisical teenager. So here's our tests. The first one we have is test starting something. We have result equals, hey, tomato, tomato. And we expect the result to equal whatever. But now we're saying that hey is not a function. And I think I know what's going on here because we had a similar issue. Look at all these tests, by the way. There's quite a number of tests. But we're going to start with the ones at the top. We're probably not going to get through all of these, and that's just fine because it's about learning. And I think it was Michael Feathers who said you slow down to go fast. So let's side by side open to the side. Pull this over here. Get our pictures out of the way. All right, so here's something I'm noticing. Look at this, var bob equals function and an empty function right here. Cool. And then we have this bob.prototype.hey. And that's going to equal our function with some input. And then down here, module.exports. And it looks like I've got some comments from a while ago. It says that it passes all the tests, but that's just not true anymore. And I think that's because JavaScript has changed since the last time that I ran this code.
I can't see. Do you need to create a class?
Yeah, I think I need to convert this. So here's our class Bob, var Bob, type of Bob. This constructor function may be converted to a class declaration. So it looks like our IDE, our integrated development environment, which is a fancy way of saying our text editor, but it's text editor with a few extra functions on it, wants to give us an option of just quickly fixing this. Let's try it. Let's click this button and see what happens. Convert.
Do it?
Yeah, it did. Look at that. Immediately.
What?
Class Bob, constructor, hey, input. Taciturn, shouting, question. If input search is taciturn, fine, be that way. Input search shouting, whoa, chill out. Input search question, sure, and then whatever. And then we got this module.exports down here too. But before we change two things at once, let's save this, run the tests again. I should expect to see them fail still, but let's just see what's going on now. See if that's enough to fix it. Nope, still failing. Let's pull this down here. Maybe pull our videos up a bit. Oh man, there's a lot of processing going on right now. This is starting to really cook my system. Hopefully we stay on the air. All right, so our test failed. Still the same thing. Bob hey is not a function. Interesting. Module exports.
Question about that.
What's the question?
Okay, so you created a class, but did you create, I'm just thinking Ruby, like, did you create a method within that class? Is that something you need? I couldn't see what was up there.
Yeah, in fact, I think that's exactly, that might be something. So if you can see this here, so this is a class method. So it means we need to instantiate Bob first, and then we call his hey. We call him by saying hey.
I
And
like the idea of call his hey. I don't know. That just sounds funny.
you're going to call his hey.
I'm gonna
So,
call hey.
so Bob has a method called hey. And when you hey at him, in whatever way that is, whether you say tomato, tomato, or you say watch out, or you say FCDEDFFCAAB, he says, whoa, chill out, right? That's what we're doing. But I don't think we're actually instantiating Bob. Because look here, we just call hey. There's no place in here where we actually bother to instantiate Bob. And this is a instance method, not a class method. So we're going to, like, the idea of Bob might be able to, you might be able to hey the idea of Bob, the archetype of Bob. But what we're trying to do is we're going to try and hey at an actual Bob, right? So we're going to need to build that Bob. We're going to need to create a Bob, hey at him, find out whether he says the right thing, and then immediately destroy him after he says it. And we're going to do this over and over and over again. So I think that might be our issue. So first off, we're probably testing the wrong thing when we just import hey. I'm noticing there's a little 3 dots thing going on here. It says like, oh, look. Convert to ES6 module. Let's do a quick fix of that. Convert to ES6. ES6 is ECMAScript 6. So JavaScript. Oh, do you know about that, Sarah?
Yeah, no, I was about to ask about the default, like, because that'll import everything.
Yeah.
As a specific. Okay, cool.
Yeah, which might mean that this thing of importing hey from Bob no longer works. Let's find out. So this will fail in a different way if we did this right. And part of running tests is to predict how they're going to fail. Never be afraid of failure, just like in improv.
Yeah, failures are actually good things at the beginning of testing.
All right, so we got our failure. And what's it say here? Yeah, it's still saying the same thing. Bob.hey. First of all, I don't want to import hey like this. Let's import Bob himself. We'll do that. And then let's instantiate Bob. Const. And let's not use Bob anymore. Now we're going to call him teen. And in fact, let's go ahead and use capital, since that's conventional. When you're dealing with class names, you want to put a capital letter. So we have a class that's a teen, and now we're going to, and because of the fact that this is default, we can rename it inside the test, which can be kind of useful. At some point we might fix that, but for now it's fine. So
Ask about that, where I was like, don't you have to change it on your actual JS file? But that's cool, so you don't have to.
So yeah. Speaking of which, now's a good time to ask the chat if there's anyone in the chat who has some names for lackadaisical teens. Go ahead and shout those out. As we write tests, we'll take one of those names for a lackadaisical teen for each one of our tests. So let's create a name for our lackadaisical teen right now, Sarah. What's one that sounds like a good lackadaisical teen?
Tarquin.
What was that?
Tarquin.
Turquin?
Tarquin.
Tarquin.
Don't ask me how to spell it. It's the name of my little coding deck.
All right. So Tarquin. Oh, we're going to need to lowercase that. So Tarquin is a new teen. This actually works out really effectively saying this way. It's a great way to teach object-oriented programming here. So now we're going to say we're going to result equals Tarquin. We're going to call Tarquin's hey. We're going to say that. So let's Save that and try and run it. It passed!
Yay!
All right, cool. So what I'm using here is an arrange, act, assert test. So we arrange it. We give it all its dependencies first, and what we're going to need is to create a new team. Then we're going to act. And how we act is we're going to tell that new team, hey, tomato, tomato. And then we're going to expect that the result is equal to whatever. And so that's an arrange, act, assert. And there's one more step as well, which is afterwards you clean up. So once we're done with this, it doesn't say so, but what we do is we immediately kill Tarquin. We create him for a second. We ask him one question. He answers it right. We kill him. And we do it. And we do it. Yeah. Poor Tarquin. Yeah. He's brought into existence time and time again, asked one question, and then killed immediately afterwards. And you wonder why it is that he's a lackadaisical teen.
How do we kill him?
Oh, it's not stated here. But basically, as soon as we go outside the scope of here, the JavaScript's garbage collector is going to see that there's no more usages for this teen, and it's going to kill it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
That is because we don't want a bunch of lackadaisical teens sitting around in our memory doing nothing. All they'll be is a bunch of freeloaders. So we kill them immediately. I am so pleased with myself right now. All right, so we got that working. Let's make this next test work. Let's get a new name for our next teen that we have. Who's this one going to be? I don't see any extra names in the chat right now.
Michaela.
Michaela?
Yeah, I mean, that's a pretty popular name.
Like that?
I don't know.
With an H?
You can spell it any way you want.
Okay, let's spell it. There, Michaela. E-H.
Got two E's and a silent U.
Michaela.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Oh man. You realize it's us millennials who are naming our kids this. We're the ones who are doing this.
My friend just found a very tricky way to name her daughter Princess Leia, which is really cute. Her daughter is named Atara, which means princess, and her middle name is Leia. And I was like, girl.
I'm very proud. In any case, let's create another new teen. And this is going to be Michaela. And then we're going to call Michaela's.
Yeah, you were spelling it like her twin sister, which is the M-E-K.
M-E-K?
Well, that's Michaela's other sister. There's two Michaelas, but they're spelled differently. She's the nice one. The other one sucks. I didn't want you to work with her. She's terrible. She's real bad at lacrosse, too. I don't like her.
Yeah, well, she's got to be good at lacrosse if she's going to be, a Generation Z kid, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. All right, cool. So let's create our Michaela. We're going to create good Michaela. We're going to run our NPM test. We're going to then create Tarquin again, find out whether he says whatever, kill him immediately afterwards. Then we're going to do the same thing with Michaela. We're going to create a new Michaela. We're going to create a teen, name it Michaela, ask it hey, kill it right afterwards.
We should use the bad Michaela for that one. I forgot we were going to kill her.
Oh, yeah. Okay, let's go ahead and if we're going to kill her, we'll use her evil sister, which is spelled how?
Okay, so M-E. And then just a K. There's no C. Yeah, get it. It's just M-E-K-L-A. Yeah, take away the E-E-U. No, there's no Y. Her mom was like real tired. It's just L-A. There's no X. It's not, yeah. Close enough. That's fine. That's the evil Michaela.
And we could create a function to ask our teen whether or not they're evil. And we could actually instantiate our teen with whether or not they're evil or not. And then we can ask it, like, hey, are you evil? And it'll say yes or no. Or it'll lie to us.
If people, don't you think they'd be like, no? You got
Yeah.
super good.
Yeah, because, I mean, there's nobody who claims to be more evil than good kids, right? They're like, oh yeah, I'm really a bad kid, right?
It's like cool to say that, like, be like modest. Or it's like, oh, you did such a good thing. No, I'm terrible.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Their modesty is an example of their goodness.
That's terrible. Oh, that's awful. No, if you did something good, be happy about it.
Yep. All right. Wait, how are we only getting one passed?
Oh, okay, you got rid of the X. Did you? Yeah, you did.
I did. Oh no, here it is. Test suites, 1 passed. Tests, 2 passed. And there are 23 skipped. Cool. So let's move on to the next one, shall we? Let's create, so now we're going to shout gibberish. And we need to instantiate this lackadaisical teen as well. Still don't see any names for lackadaisical teens. Go ahead and throw those in the chat if you like. But in the meantime, Sarah, next lackadaisical teen.
Bryce.
Bryce. Oh yeah.
Yeah, that guy's a real jerk. We can kill him. Fine.
Hi, my name's Bryce. What's Bryce do?
Bryce. What does Bryce do? I mean, he doesn't work.
No. He has way
like,
too nice of a car. That's true, right?
He does have way too nice of a car. Yeah, and he doesn't like drive it well, and he like parks in the teacher's space, and he's super like rude. He's really mean to nice Michaela. No, he makes fun of her because she wants to be a vet, and he thinks that's stupid because he doesn't like animals. That's why I think he's the worst.
Oh my god. Okay, so he does deserve to die. So when we create this test, what we're going to do is, oh man, we got a bunch of names now in the chat. So yeah. So when we create this test, what's going to happen is we're going to create a new teen. We're going to name that teen Bryce. It's going to be different from all other teens, a unique teen that is named Bryce. Then we're going to call Bryce.hey. We're going to shout some gibberish at Bryce. And then we're going to expect that the result of what we get back from Bryce is going to be, whoa, chill out. And then as soon as we hear that, we're going to murder him. Because we can't have him just lying around after the fact. That's just going to suck up all of our memory. All right, let's run this test and see what happens. All right, yeah, we murdered him too. Good job.
He thinks kill shelters are cool. He deserves to die. No sympathy for that guy.
No sympathy. All right, so we've got a series of names here. Go ahead and pick out the one that you think sounds nicest, or the next teen who deserves to die after we ask him a question, or her. We have Joey, Jaden, or Aiden, Hunter, Hayden, and Madison.
Well, I heard Jaden and Aiden, which to me is one name. It's Jaden Aiden.
Jaden?
Jadaden.
Jadaden, yeah.
And she's so cool. She actually started the her high school's TEF group. So she's a programmer. I don't want her to die, but she volunteered for this.
Yeah, it's part of her civic duty. She has volunteered for tribute.
Maybe we can like put her brain in a robot and it'll be fine.
Um, yeah, that's just not the way the computer works. I'm sorry. She has
Can
to
we?
die over and over and over again. Also, by the way, A Harvey2K, who just mentioned these names, says that those were the death-worthy names. Um, so he believes all of those people deserve to die for having that kind of a name. We are so judgmental here. But we're learning something about code, which is the idea of an object, and that we instantiate the object, we ask it some questions, and when we're done with it, we murder it. Because we can't have it lying around and just sucking up memory. Its job is done. Now it dies. Looks like that passed too. Looks like once we have this thing, like going through these, this is all just jam. In fact, this is jam enough that I think this is probably where we're going to have to stop. Because we're already at 15 minutes from now. Sorry, say that again.
Oh, are we done, or are we just moving on to a different part of the code? This seemed like it moved really fast.
It did, but that's because we were having fun. I'm afraid that it's time for us to stop working.
Oh, what does jam mean? What weird tech jargon is jam?
Jam?
Yeah.
That was me and my improv brain running out of cached memory and then searching for anything at all somewhere in the random access memory and coming up with jam.
And first rule of improv is you sell it no matter what. What jargon is jam? You're like, it's when you're done, or it's when you're working really well together. And make up something.
Well, I mean, yes, but I also believe in open source and showing my work as I do it, so I'm afraid I'm just going to have to say exactly how it happened. Now, if you want, to jam is to be so done that you have created your sweet preserve, and you have now preserved it for the time to come in software. How about that?
There you go. I was gonna say most of those words are super dumb and they came from somewhere, and it was probably somebody who was like half fried and they said it, and then we're like, no, I'm owning this. So yes, congratulations, you've just created your very own bit of tech jargon.
All right, tech jargon, here we come. You can create your own tech jargon too, by the way, by playing around with code like this as well. Sarah, what did we learn today?
We learned that you hate teenagers.
I sure do. Get off my lawn, you crazy kids.
So we learned about classes, and that ES6 now wants you to use classes.
Mm-hmm.
We learned about defaults export, which is really cool because you can export everything from your code into the test without having to get very nitpicky. And it's helpful because if you want to change the names, it's not going to be as tricky.
Right.
We learned about is it instantiation? Is that the correct way to say? Sure. Yeah, we learned about instantiation, and we learned about how the life cycle of a code block works. When you're done with it, it dies. Even if you don't, it's gonna die.
Now, there are ways in which you could keep it alive, but that's going to be too much for the half hour we have to actually work today. So, no, none of those teens deserve to live. They instead deserve to be created and recreated time and time and time again, every time we want to test, and then we murder them directly afterwards. We're at about the end here. But before we go, I have a few questions of words of wisdom. Sarah, when I first met you, you were learning to become a software developer. But now you are one.
Yeah.
Yeah. You did it. Congratulations. So for someone else who might be thinking, oh, I do improv, or I'm an artistic person, and I'd like to do something with code. Let me ask you a few questions. Why? Why would they want to do that?
Why would an artistic person want to do code?
Yeah.
Well, first of all, I'll just say that like you don't stop doing art just because you switch careers. I'm still doing stuff. I'm still, COVID makes it tough, but I'm still doing Zoom comedy stuff with some of my comedy friends. I'm still cartooning. I'm still writing. But I honestly feel I feel less stressed because I actually have a means of income that pays me enough that I actually am not struggling, and I like it. It's honestly, I think this is kind of like the idea of like if you're an artist, you need to put 100% of yourself in that, and then just like go wait tables or bartend and just sort of do that type. And there's nothing like that those jobs are great, but like you don't have to do that. You can do stuff that's like you can have a different job. And programming is collaborative, which to me is like what a lot of artists are into anyways, like especially like with theater, improv, music. It's very collaborative. There's a huge community, which is something that I feel like a lot of artists can relate to. Open source is all about sort of sharing that wealth of knowledge. And there's so much creative stuff you can do. Like if you want, if you're really into visual design, there's a crazy amount of things you can do. You can animate using CSS, and it's really cool. I've actually found some videos where people are sharing for free how to make cartoons using CSS, and it's really interesting. So, yeah, I mean, I would just say, don't limit yourself. There's a quote I have on my whiteboard that says, "We are loyal to our limiting beliefs." And it's true. And if you think that you're not technical, that's just not how your brain works. I think that you're really not being fair to yourself.
Wow.
I don't know if that's your question.
No, that's great.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you for that. Okay, so what's the most important thing that you found so far as a software developer that you think someone should know being a software developer? What should they really keep in their mind when they're becoming a software developer?
All right. You're going to feel like really stupid for a long time. Because there's just so much to learn. It's really overwhelming. But everybody goes through that. And things are always changing. Like just now when we were doing the code, Ian's been working with JavaScript. I know he says like, I'm not good at JavaScript, but he is. He knows what he's doing. And I've been working with JavaScript for a couple of years. I'm a little rusty because it's been a few weeks, but I still understand it. Even then, both of us were like, wait, what's happening? What can you do now? Like it's always changing. So it doesn't matter how good of a grasp you get on something, it's just a constantly evolving thing. And so as soon as you accept that, it's relaxing because you're not worrying about failing. So I think if you're just able to get past that initial hump of like not wanting to fail in front of people, not wanting to ask a question. I had a friend who was doing coding the same time as me, and he never made it past CSS because he was too afraid to ask questions about JavaScript. And he said, I don't want to sound stupid. And I was like, you have to. And for improv, I'm just going to go back to this. All of the little early exercises that people do, I don't know, like zip, zap, zop, kitty cat career, whatever it's just to, anything short form. The idea is to get yourself out of your comfort zone, be vulnerable, and not be afraid to sound stupid. And once you do that, you actually get closer with people, you connect, and then you can actually create some really amazing things. And the same thing goes with codes. If you find a couple of people that are willing to work with you and you ask them a question, even if it feels dumb, they're not going to be judgy. They're going to understand. And if you feel stupid, just laugh about it and learn from it, just like you would with improv. Is that good?
Yeah, that's great.
Okay.
No, that's fantastic. All right, and I have one final question.
Yep.
if someone wanted to get started learning to code right now, where would you suggest they start?
Right now during COVID, where people are struggling, I would say maybe start by looking at a couple of like really basic YouTube videos. There's a guy, Mike Dane. He does, it's just, he breaks everything down very simply. It's called Giraffe Academy. It's free on YouTube. Maybe just get into those and just watch a few just to get an idea of how to do something. Start playing around with HTML and CSS, because then you'll actually, you'll get to see the cause and effect of the things that you're building right away. So if you make a headline, a header, and then you do a div underneath and do a paragraph, then you can actually look on your screen and see, oh, I did that. And if you make it purple with CSS, you can go, oh, look what I did. And if you're into it, I would say look up your local tech Slack, introduce yourself, see if anyone's looking to mentor. Like I said, they're like way more approachable in the tech scene than they are in the art scene. And even in the art scene, people, are, friendly and will network with you. So yeah, those people will definitely jump on the idea of mentoring and sharing the wealth, and then just, I don't know, get on Zoom and start coding.
Yeah, that sounds great. Okay, so I have to thank a few people before we sign off. So first of all, thank you so much, Sarah. It was great having you here. This has been just fantastic. Thank you. So our production liaison is Matt Pittner. Our designer is Aaron Harvey. He's the one who designed the logos that you're seeing. You can find him on Infinite Trek on this channel on Saturday mornings. Yeah, there's also our marketer, Lucas Vanasek. He is hosting a game show called Two Liars. That's tomorrow at 7 o'clock. And then our bot master is Cody Bushi, and he has a show called An Actor Unprepared, which is going to be back on September 14th. Music that you heard before the stream started, and then after the stream after the stream ends, is by Made Up Music. That's Arlo Sanders and Alex Kahn, and the two of them have a show on Outpost 13 as well. In fact, that's coming up next at 7 o'clock Pacific time, and that is where they make up a song on the spot based off of your suggestions. I love coding while they're creating music, because it really makes me feel like I'm part of this collaborative, creative process, especially when I'm by myself. I can't recommend it enough. Stay tuned for Made Up Music. They're going to be on next. By the way, if you'd like to see the old shows or a recording of this one again, you can do that if you subscribe to our channel. It's $5, and what you do is you get all of our VODs for our show and then all the other shows on our network. If you want to wait, you can see them for free in 2 weeks. They're at a YouTube channel called FTL Talks. That's Foxtrot Tango Lima Talks. Faster Than a Lightning Talk. That's on YouTube, and I'm going to have all the videos there as well, but 2 weeks later. So if you want that right now, subscribe to the channel. And that's pretty much it. Sarah, thank you so much for being here. Are you petting your dog right now?
Yes.
Yes! I got it right.
Yeah, I don't know if she can.
Oh, dog.
Heavy. Look at this big giant beast.
Oh my God.
This is Harley. Yes, hi.
Hey, Harley.
She's time.
Yeah, Harley's a star now. Harley has been in front of tens of loyal viewers.
Yay, look at you.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Also, Aaron, I need to mention that he also designs the art that goes with the with the song art while Alex and Arlo are making up music. So yeah. So on that note of just a nice big old pooch, we're gonna say bye. We'll see you next week.
Hi, thanks for having me.
I know how to do this. I swear. Here we go. All right.
only steps I make. Steps too high. I'm just a man. If you see my face at your hour of death, don't shake. Don't shake in your boots, no, don't you fret. Cause I'm gonna take you down where the beats are pumping. Down to hell where the lava's jumping. In the mountain, lava's jumping. Down to hell where the lava's jumping.
Let yourself fall, cause you'll only get higher. Let yourself drop like a bee on fire. Living half dead, so you might as well drop. The f***ers can't find you, the beat don't stop. The beat don't stop. It'll never stop.
I walk this life. The only steps I make. Steps too high. I'm just a man. I walk this life. The only steps I make. Steps too high. I'm just a man. When you start saying a mountain is a mountain, a river is a river. Well, living Zen, a mountain is not a mountain, a river is not a river. After learning Zen, a mountain is a mountain,